Okay, I think we're live. Kind of exciting. Let me just double check. Do all of my little moments to make sure that everything is working as we would expect. Doesn't look like it is. Are we live? Yeah, okay, looks like we are. Cool. Let me turn my music down just a little bit and then share some links, and then we'll be good to go. Okay, cool. All right, let's get started. And I got to pull up one more thing on YouTube, and then I'll be good to go. Or so I thought. Just, oh my gosh. Why won't it let me? Okay, perfect. Jeez. No, that's not perfect. Whatever. I will do my best to pay attention to the chat, but it is unfortunately not being as helpful as I'd expected. Oh, here we go. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, cool. Questions. This is one of your CLIs that you're converting. Yes, it is. So this is a CLI that I wrote called Book a while back, over a year ago. It's absolutely tiny. So this was written pre-Zig development for me, and yeah, we're gonna convert it to Zig, and then maybe throw a TUI on top of it if we have time. I've got about 2 hours today to work with, so we'll see if we have time for that. But one of the things that should be neat is that we have access to Zig 0.15.1 and the new readers and writers and all sorts of fun stuff that hopefully will be helpful in converting this over to a good application. So we're going to get started on that in just a second. I got to figure out exactly how to get my music not too loud, but loud enough that I can hear it. And yeah. Okay, cool. I think that's good. Sorry, Paramore is a little louder than what I was just listening to. Okay, so let's take a look at what we have, and we'll start there. So I've already ran Zig init. You can see that this is pretty fresh. So we just ran Zig init, and we have a build.zig, a build.zig.zon main file, and a root file. I'm probably going to do everything in main for now, and then we can move stuff over to the root file. I've been trying to be better about that, but I have a tendency to just not use the root file and just delete it right away. But I think maybe a better solution would be building the logic into the root and then having the main be like the CLI interface or like the TUI interface. So we'll probably do that at some point. But I think also what would be easy is like if we just do a 1-for-1 comparison for the Go implementation to the Zig implementation. So one of the simpler Go files we have is called paths. And all this does is in package main, we do some imports. We have a storage path. We have a bookmark file path. These are two private methods worth mentioning. We have delete bookmark file, get bookmark file, and that's it. I say private. They're private to main, so like everything has access to them. So maybe we'll clear that up. This is public, but like this is just a sign of me like throwing something together and not really thinking too much about it. So hopefully we'll be a little more mindful with the Zig implementation. That's definitely a goal, but we'll see how it goes. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and create paths.zig, and we're just gonna recreate this file. I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna vsplit. We're gonna open paths.go over here. And then let's just one for one go through and recreate this. So I've got standard, which is going to be import standard. We don't have to declare a package or anything like that. So we'll create some public functions like we know that we need get bookmark file path. And this is going to return an error union of a const u8. Really quick check in. Is the text legible? Is that too small, too big? Where are we at on that? How dare I turn Haley Williams down? She got turned back up if it makes you feel any better. Are we good on size? I think we're good on size. This is kind of interesting. Your chat is not showing up in the... Oh, that's not the correct chat URL. Man, this is a pain. Let me fix that. Okay, text size is good. One day I will do a live and have everything ready to go at the very beginning. Okay, cool. Now I can actually easily see your chat, which is great. Thank you, Jake. Cool. Okay, so we have our get bookmark file path. We have a couple other things that we need to do, like the delete bookmark file and then get bookmark file. I don't actually know if this get path needs to be public, but we'll see. So let's create a public function called delete bookmark file. And this will just return an error union with void. And then we need like a pub fun get bookmark file. And then this will return error standard fs file. Okay. So we have this storage path helper. I think we're still going to want that. So we'll create a function called get storage path. And this is going to return a error union slice const u8. So just an error union with a string. So we're using the OS user config directory here. That's not something we have available in Zig. So we're going to need standard fs get, okay, get app data directory. Looks like we need an allocator and then we need an app name. So allocator is just going to be an allocator. App name is going to be book. This probably isn't very smart, so let's actually do something like this. And we'll namespace it, which means that this will not be compatible with the Go version, but whatever. We need an allocator. This will be a standard mem allocator. Is that it? Is that really all we need? Yes. What does this return? Slice const u8. Okay, so it gives us the path, which is great. That is what we want. So sure. Nice and easy. Get bookmark file path is going to call that. And then it's probably just going to add, yeah, it looks like we have it set to add standard mem allocator. Oh, formatting was really strange. Okay, so standard mem allocator. And we're calling get storage path. So one thing that's tripping me up is looking at Go code right next to Zig code, like really basic things like initializing variables. I'm like, oh, what's the path for that? It's not this, but Problems of being a polyglot, I guess. Okay, so we're getting our path. And then this actually has an error union. We just want to bubble that up if it exists. So for now, we'll just try that. And that gives us our path. We want to do like a path.join. So I'm curious, do we have standard fs join? Standard fs path dot join. Yeah, okay, cool. Naively combines a series of paths with the naive path separator. Do we have to provide a separator? Or does it look it up? Allocator paths allocates memory for the result, which must be freed. Okay, that's fine. So we have an allocator here. And then, oh, interesting. Oh, man. I'm forgetting how to do inline slices in Zig. Okay, that is what I thought. Can we just an underscore? Got it. And then we have path, and then we have bookmarks.csv. Oh yeah, we need to give that a type. Totally makes sense. It's const u8. Is that going to work? I don't think that's going to work. Okay, not getting yelled at yet. We'll probably have to come back and fix that. I don't think that's going to work like we would expect. I don't think I can do that, but we'll find out. Any reason you're using Vim and not NeoVim? I am using NeoVim. I have Vim alias to NeoVim, so I just don't have to type the N. I can just type Vim. Highly recommend that alias if you have not set that up before. Okay, what does join return? Join returns it's a path, which is great, which means we can just return this. This already feels cleaner, but I do think I'm going to have to do some memory management here, and I can't just shoehorn that in, unfortunately. Cool. So now that we have this, we have essentially const path is equal to get bookmark file path, give it an allocator, defer allocator dot free path, and then we'll come up here, add our allocator. Okay, so we get our path. It could be an error. So let's just try that. We'll bubble up the error if there is one. And then we need to essentially remove the file. So we have standard fs dot, what do we have available? Delete directory, delete file absolute. What's the differences here? WTF16 encoded, null terminated. Okay. Delete a file name and possibly the file it refers to based on an absolute path. It asserts that the path is absolute. See dir.delete file for a function that operates on both absolute and relative paths. Okay. So on Windows, absolute path should be encoded as WTF8. Does that mean I have to use different delete file methods here, depending on whether I'm on Windows or not? My hunch is yes, but let's go ahead and just get it working on Linux first. Okay, so we can just delete path. What does this return? It's a delete file error unioned with void. That works for me. Man, I really wish I remembered that hotkey. Okay, and then get bookmark file should be similar in that we will just do, oh. Yeah, this one's a little more involved. That makes sense. So, okay. Const path is equal to try get bookmark file path, pass in an allocator. And that means we need to add an allocator up here. I do have an alias, yep. It is neovim is alias to vim. Okay, get bookmark file path. Yep, trying, sounds good. We need to get storage path. Sure, const storage path is equal to get storage path, same thing, allocator, defer, allocator.free, path, same thing here, defer, allocator.free, storage path. Okay, cool. So we have our bookmark file path, and we have our storage path. We're doing an os.makedir all on the storage path. Standard fs. Do we have a make dir absolute? We do. See directory.makedir. So do we just have dir dot? We do. Okay. Interesting. Standard fs. So we have dir. Test accessing, close, copy file. So this makes a dir. Real path, rename, renew, symlink, walk, some errors. Okay, cool. So what are you? Let's go to definition. What do you have for me? It's the old school types. Okay. Has an entry, has a handle. Some Solaris stuff. Okay, we probably should be using this dir type instead of these methods directly. So let's hop back over here. I'm gonna swap over to a browser really quick. I think there's some information here, despite it being a little outdated, on working with files. What I really want to do is, that's what it is, current working directory. Okay, cool. Yep, that gives us a dir to work with. So then we can do make dir. Okay, to create multiple directories, to make an entire path, make path. Creates a single directory with a relative or absolute path. So we want make path instead of make dir. Calls make dir iteratively to make an entire path. Okay, that sounds like what we want. So this will just be storage path. I think that's it. And then we can do current working directory again. Maybe we should hold on to that. We'll refactor in a minute. Open file. Oh, Lord. Okay, so if the file doesn't exist, we need to create it. So opens a file for reading or writing without attempting to create the file. To create a new file, use create file. Makes sense. Call file.close to release this resource. Yep. Creates, open, or overwrites a file with write access. That's convenient. Let's take that approach. So it'll be the bookmark file path, right? Yeah. Should just be, I think we just called it path. We need to give this some flags. Mode is going to be mode append. Truncate should be false. Read should be true. We also may need to lock the file here as well. We probably should, but again, one thing at a time. So let's give this a go. We should be able to return this. I think that should be good. Okay, so we did our path.join, we did our app data directory, delete file absolute. Let's change this to be return standard fs current working directory, delete file, and then should be an absolute path. So we should just be able to say path. Okay, cool. I mean, I'm kind of just forgetting my error handling, like just trying everything, but this is half the amount of Go code for a comparable functionality, which is kind of neat. This is convenient too, that create file creates it for and opens it. So in our case, we can just create it, set the truncate to false so it doesn't truncate it if it already exists, and then just return the open value. I think, I don't know, maybe we'll try that and we will run into some errors and we'll have to handle it. James, thanks for joining. What's the CLI that's being migrated? It's tiny. It is a tiny CLI that I wrote about a year ago and some change called book. It's just terminal-based bookmarks. So you can do something like this, book GH, and then it gives you, whatever you type in here. So GitHub in this case. And then if you type book GH, it opens the GitHub bookmark. So it'll open your browser. It detects that it's, an HTTPS URL and knows to open your browser to that URL. So you can do that with URLs. You can do it with file system paths, anything of that nature. And ideally more, it'd be cool if we could set up like FTP as another option or SSH or something and find a way to automatically connect people with the thing that they're trying to reach. So really just a little productivity CLI that I wrote a while back. Okay. Let's take a look at some of the other Go code that we're going to migrate over. So we have storage, we have a test that might be fun to migrate over, we have paths, and we have main.go and browser, which is a terrible name at this point. But let's maybe knock out storage. And source storage.zig. Okay, standard library. Johan, coming in clutch. Paths.zig. It is at path bookmarks.csv for the join. Really? That's it? Johan, would you mind letting me know if you're still here? Like why is it this and not like the inline struct that I had been writing? Very curious about that. Interested in the TUI. There's a TypeScript and Zig TUI framework called Open TUI. Have you heard of it? I've not actually. I'll have to check that out. I've been looking at libvaccess and I cloned this and pulled down their examples, and most of them run fine on Zig 15.1. So my plan was to use this, which has been really, really clean. I thought about using Charm and just sticking with Go originally, but I feel like I kind of want to lock in on Zig and really get good at Zig. So was looking at this, and this looks pretty straightforward. So here's a simple button counter. You can see it kind of follows the Elm architecture. So there's a model, This function gets called via the runtime. This function gets called when it's drawn via the runtime. Um, there are subsurfaces. It's actually a little verbose, a little more than charm, but it's Zig compared to Go, so often it is more verbose. But it's really not too bad. So looking at that, but they also have some examples. Um, so what's a simple one? There's like this counter button. Actually, this might have been the one we were just looking at, but it's 130 lines of code to add like a little button. Um, you know what? Let's just go to my PJs, lib, vaxis, sig build example d example equals button. Is it not called button? Am I losing my mind? Counter. Yeah, so like this, you get this, which is pretty neat. And it's click aware too. So like if I click here and then drag off, it doesn't increment the clicks. So like so. Also, I see that Johan has responded. Thank you. Wants a slice, not an array. Yeah, that totally makes sense. Thank you for calling that out. So yeah, that's the one of the TUIs I was looking at. They have another one called table, which is probably what I'm going to end up creating something like this. So you'd have your bookmarks in the table view here. You can do things. You'll be able to come in and edit them. Like they just have row content here showing that you can expand rows. So we'll probably do something like that, make it editable, and then give you the ability to like launch bookmarks from this too. Maybe add a search bar up here at the top. Something kind of fun. I really want it to feel Omarchy native because I have quickly become addicted to Omarchy's design ideas, like the TUI focused development environment. Okay. Where were we? Source. Oh, we haven't written storage yet. So we have a buffer that has storage open. Maybe. Okay. Let's go ahead and write that. Okay, so let's knock out storage. So we have a type bookmark. So this is going to be const bookmark. It's going to be a struct. It's going to have a value. My God, migrating is one of the things that is like looking at this. I can't remember the Zig syntax for a struct. Man, that's frustrating. Also, part of the reason that I'd like to really lock in with a single language is to not have this issue. Okay, yeah, const timestamp struct. So we have the right format there. Cool. So in our case, we'll have value, which is going to be a slice const u8, path slice const u8, and then tags is going to be a slice of const u8s. You can have multiple tags. Okay. And then how do we handle this? So in Go, we just have a bookmark type, and then we have store bookmark. Why did I have this struct? Search bookmarks returns the struct. Get bookmark returns the struct. Okay. Delete bookmark does not. I guess I was probably short circuiting the logic there. So you could just pass in a string for the delete, which I guess makes sense. Okay. Let's stick to the same pattern for now. So we're going to create a pub fun store bookmark. We're also going to take in a writer, which is going to be a standard IO, capital IO dot writer. And then a bookmark, which is going to be string and a, what is this? Path string and then the tags. Okay. I don't like this. So let's change it. So we're gonna have a pub fun init, and init is going to return a bookmark. Okay. Value. Yeah, we'll take in a value. We'll take in a path. Maybe not tags since they're not necessary. And maybe we'll add a method to add tags at some point. Okay, so value path is path. Tags is do we want tags to be nullable, I guess is the question, or should we have an empty state? I think an empty state sounds good. Now the question is that also just okay? Oh man. Again, polyglot problems. And that doesn't make sense. So yeah, we'll do pub fun store bookmark. Self will be a bookmark. I guess that's it. Oh, we would. Okay, so here's an interesting architecture decision. We essentially want to have a writer as a generic type. So this poses a very interesting question. Do we want to take in a writer for store bookmark and it just store it in the writer, or do we create a bookmark writer struct where the bookmark writer essentially encapsulates a writer and then has methods like store bookmark? Interesting separation of concerns that starts to get messy when we think about deletions and the bookmark writer being responsible for that. But maybe bookmark manager. We'll just stick with this path for now. So yeah, we'll have a bookmark and then we'll have a writer that we want to write to. io.writer. In our case, does this need to return anything? I don't think so. Okay, so we have a store bookmark. We'll have a, what else do we have? Delete. How did I handle the delete? Oh, this is actually really crappy. It's just writing the file path. Where's file path come from? Yeah, it gets the bookmark file path, creates a buffered IO reader. Interesting. Okay. So we'll have delete bookmark, which is going to have self bookmark. It'll have a writer, which will be a standard io.writer, and a reader, which is going to be a standard IO reader. Eesh. There's probably a better way to do this. I'm going to go ahead and throw our first to do right here. Cleaner way to do this without both a reader and writer. Okay, pub fun search bookmarks does not make sense, like on a single bookmark. So we'll skip that one for now. What else do we have? We have get bookmark. Yeah, we can work with this. Let's do pub fun lookup. And it'll just be a value, which is going to be const u8. And this should return either an error or a bookmark. we need to, it's not that simple. We'll need a reader. Yeah, so something like that. Okay, so we have some method stubs. This is actually going to take longer than I expected. I thought we'd knock this out in like 2 hours, but some interesting design decisions from the past have come back to haunt me. Okay, cool. So store bookmark is essentially just taking that writer and writing. Writable slice. Full transparency, I haven't worked a ton with the new writer syntax yet. So I am just trying to make sure that I am using the correct methods. Write vec is interesting. So if the total number of bytes of data fits inside the unused capacity slice, the function is guaranteed to not fail. I'm late. No, a wizard's never late. You arrived precisely when you wanted to. No such thing as late, unless you show up at 5 o'clock Eastern, in which case, yeah, maybe too late at that point. Okay, so let's write some bytes. So, oh man, I'm trying to figure out we can do this without an allocator. It just feels kind of weird. So we want to write self.value, writer.write, comma, writer.write, self.path. The tags is interesting, so I will need to like join those down. Or instead of joining them down, what we could do is we could iterate over them. So we could do like a for self.tags, tag, writer.write. How are we handling this in the original Go implementation? These are comma separated, aren't they? Tags. Yeah, we're not joining them. We're not doing any formatting. So they are comma separated. I feel like that's bad, but let's stick with it for now. So it'll be tag writer.write, comma, and then finally we can do writer.write. Yeah, this feels messy. I'm sure there's a better way to do this that doesn't involve all these calls to write. There's writer.print. Yeah. Thanks. That's exactly what I was looking for. I was just trying to avoid the allocation. So I didn't want to do the allocation myself and then end up managing that allocated memory. But if I can do that without working with the writer or without allocating and just pass it off to the writer, that seems way better. Okay, so we have a string, comma, Zig writer formatting. What do we got? Print method. Okay, this is what I was looking for. This gives us, very interesting conversion there. I think that's what I want. I think any should be fine in this case. So let's give that a shot. So we have any, and then we'll need to pass in self.value, pass in self.path, and then self.tags. Much better. Thanks for the print suggestion. I overlooked that. Yeah, that feels way better. And then we probably should return something, right? So Error union with void. That's exactly what we are expecting, so we can just return this. And sorry, I feel a sneeze coming on, so I'm going to maybe mute my mic and sneeze. Maybe not. Okay. If it comes back, I will do that. Okay, cool. So that store bookmark feels clean. Delete bookmark is going to be a little more involved. We are. Yeah, this is gross. I feel bad that I wrote it this way in Go originally. So we're getting the bookmark file path, and instead of that, what we're going to do in the Zig version, instead of getting the file path and managing writing, we are just going to take in a writer and write to the provided writer. Okay, and then the way that I was doing this originally, this delete bookmark, is essentially we took in a reader, we created a buffered IO scanner, we'd scan through it and essentially try to find the if a string has the same prefix. So we'd take the scanner text, we'd scan each line, and then we would check if that text matched the value. And if it did match the value, then we would what were we? Okay, hang on. Travis, hello. Pretty sure you still need to loop and write each tag. I think any will format as interesting. Okay, we can definitely do that. I'm curious if there's a way to do it with format specifiers where it wouldn't turn out like that, but I also don't mind testing it and finding out. Okay, what is this doing? So if the string does not have the prefix, so we have scanner.text, and then it's the bookmark. So if it does not have that, then we are writing it. So essentially what we're doing is we are reading every single line into memory, writing that back out if that prefix is not found. So if the prefix is found, we skip over that one. Interesting. It works. Maybe not the best solution, but also it's probably fine. Let's, okay. Blanking on a better solution at the moment, so let's just continue porting this over one for one. Except for the get bookmark file path. That's not what we want to do. Yeah, I don't think Zig's format has a specifier for printing an array of strings nicely. Okay, cool. Well, let's come back up and fix that then. Since two of you have insisted. So we'll remove this. And then we'll hop over here, remove our tags. And we can't just return writer.print. So we'll do for self.tags tag tag, thank you. Writer.print s comma, I suppose that covers it. Self, no self, just tag. Okay, and then finally writer.write. Yeah, something like that. These can all return errors, right? Am I crazy? Let's check. Yep, they can return errors. Excellent. Okay, so what we'll do is try here, try here. Should just be able to return this. Okay. Let's get back to our delete. Zig 0.15.1 release notes. I'm going to take a quick look at the writer gate piece again and change the song that we're listening to. Okay, cool. Got nice buffers to work with. I guess in theory, I don't really care that it's buffered or not at this level. So we have our reader. What are our options down here? Fill, discard, peak. What does stream give us? That's not very helpful at all. Interesting. Okay, appends to W contents by reading from the string until delimiter is found. Does not write the delimiter itself. That actually sounds like something we could use, except I specifically don't want the delimiter. I want the prefix. But I guess I'm curious if I could do like something like this, and then like self dot value. What are our other options on reader dot stream? What is, okay. What's the difference here? Appends W the contents by reading from the string until the delimiter is found. Does not write the contents. These are the same? They're the same. Okay, at least the first paragraph is. Return number of bytes found, which may be 0 if the stream reaches the end. The reader buffer will be empty when this function returns. Returns the number of bytes, which may be 0 or an error end of stream. Pump exactly n bytes from the reader. Okay, so hey, Michelangelo. Oh, Michelangelo. Got it. Interesting name. Thanks for joining us. What's good is I don't know. The weather's pretty good today, and Zig's been pretty good to me for the most part. Okay, so I think what we could do is essentially we could just stream delimiter over and over and over again, and maybe leverage peak. Next byte, peak structure pointer, invalidates previously returned values, asserts that the reader was initialized with a buffer capacity at least as big as the length, returns the next length of bytes from the stream. Sure. Let's go down this rabbit hole and we'll try this. So I essentially want to do while reader dot stream, maybe. Let me see if I can find more information on this. I'm the new IO interfaces are still throwing me for a bit of a loop. Okay, so if you have an old stream and you need a new one, you can use the adapt to new API. These ring buffers have a bunch of handy new APIs that are more convenient, perform better, and are not generic. For instance, look at how reading until a delimiter works now. Okay. Ended on a line break. Line could not fit in the buffer. Read failed. Caller can check reader implementation for diagnostics. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I'd love to see more examples about this. So let's pull up the Zig standard library and let's hop into some source code. This would be source. Actually, it wouldn't be source. Would it be lib, standard? What are we looking for? IO? IO is down here. Show me stream. Oh, wrong hotkey. I don't see stream anywhere. What? Okay. Is the reader somewhere else? The reader implementation hidden down here, maybe? No. 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 Right to stream. Salsa? Oh, crypto. That makes more sense. It exists, right? Okay, perfect. Do we have any tests in this file? So we have some streams, a lock remaining. We're not going to have tests in this file, are we? Peak, toss. Stream delimiter. Takes something, returns the data, and advances the seek position. Oh, okay, hang on. The functions have a theme. Peak something fills the buffer, returns the string, doesn't advance the seek position. Toss advances the seek position. Take something, returns the data, and advances the seek position. Okay. What I'm looking to do is essentially stream it. So I have essentially what I want to do is take all of the data from the reader and stream it to the writer until I run into the item. And um, once I run into that item, I just want to skip that line and then continue streaming. So my hunch here is that we should be able to do something like this. I guess I'll have to format that string. Yeah, this is invalid. So let's back up a moment. I'm also, to complicate things farther, I'm trying really hard to not add an allocator to this method. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm doing this in a way where, if possible, I am streaming without an allocator, since we should already have memory allocated for, self dot value in this case. So I don't really want to allocate for another string. I guess I could do fix buffer. Man, I am really struggling with this. Holy cow. Maybe we come back to delete and instead hop over to lookup. So we have a reader. So lookup will essentially be doing what we're doing here with get bookmark. You would need to peek and stream if it's okay. So so if I peek and stream, I guess the question that I have there is I stream until what? Like unfortunately I don't see tests here to save my life. Oh my god, I need to stop hitting that hotkey. So if we look at stream, there's like, unfortunately, there's not documentation to help either. So what would the limit be in this case? Am I just streaming? Am I streaming until a delimiter where the delimiter is a new line? And then I stream a line and then I peak. And then if it is the thing that I am wanting to avoid, which this is starting to make a lot of sense. Okay. Let's give this a shot then. So yeah, our delimiter will be new line. So we want to stream a delimiter until there's a new line. So we'll do while reader dot sure, while reader dot peak in can we just do self dot value dot length is not equal to self dot value. It won't be that simple because we'll need to do standard mem equal u8 oh oops. Okay, so while it is not equal, then we want to stream the delimiter. And then we should just be able to do reader.stream remaining to our writer and stream the rest of it. Man, if that works, that's going to be wild. I feel like I probably should test this at this point and not get too hung up on all this. But let's just go ahead and look at the implementation for lookup. And then maybe after that, we can actually write together a little bit of a main method and get started on testing this. Especially since it's already 4:12. Okay, cool. Thank you for the suggestion. Sorry, I'm guessing Jorge Manuel. I so many names. I'm sorry. You have an awesome name for for what it's worth. If that's your full name, holy cow, De Leon Pinello. Yeah, sorry, I'm not gonna butcher your name, but thank you for your help. Okay, so the lookup. So we got a reader. It'll be. I essentially just want. What do we want to do? I think the same thing. We essentially just want to stream while we can. So we can do like while reader dot stream delimiter. Oh, we don't. Never mind. I'm sorry. We don't want to stream it to a writer. That's not correct at all. Reader. What do we got? All right. So we have peak. Fills the buffer so that it contains at least n bytes. I don't really want to do allocations, so we don't want to do that. Stream exact, take. Okay, take delimiter exclusive. Returns a slice of the next bytes of buffered data until the stream delimiter is found, advancing the seek position. Return slice excludes the delimiter. End of stream is treated equivalent. Okay, so yes. I'm guessing the difference here is whether it's includes the delimiter as the last byte. Okay, so we should just be able to do this and do \n, and then maybe wrap this in a while. Is this something we can unwrap? ZLS is not giving me a type on items, so my hunch is no. Okay, yeah, it's not something we can unwrap. There's a bunch of nice tests at the bottom of standard IO reader. Maybe not at the bottom, but if you search that file for tests, you'll find them. That sounds helpful. Let's take a look. Yeah, this is helpful. Thank you. I really need to read through this at some point in time. The new IO interface has just been tripping me up a lot lately. Stream, take Sentinel. Interesting. Okay. What is this return? Take Sentinel. Okay. No, come back. Okay, so there's take array, peek array, discard, peek sentinel, peek delimiter inclusive. Stream delimiter ending, limit. Yeah, there's so much to this. Okay, so I think we want take delimiter exclusive. Is there a what I essentially want to do is check and see if there's a way to determine if a reader is empty. Can peek return end of stream if there are fewer than length bytes left in the stream? Okay, what about peak byte? Returns the next byte from the stream or returns error end of stream. Okay. What have I done wrong here? I deleted way too much. Okay, so this gives us a line. If standard mem split sequence split scalar returns an iterator. Oh man. Sure. Actually, it should just be split sequence makes no sense. It should be split scalar. Oh, yep, that makes sense. This shouldn't be an if. This should be a while. Item. Really? Can I not capture on a while? Yeah, there's an if with while loops and optionals. This may have an else block. Okay. Oh, this gives us, oh my goodness. Okay. It's a U8 line and the delimiter will be comma. Yeah, that gives us an iterator, doesn't it? So let's do this. Yeah, there we go. Much better. Oh, wow. Oh, sorry. There are so many comments that I've missed out on that I need to catch up on. You can unwrap the string from while. You also need to unwrap the error from the whiles else. Okay. Catch switch error end of stream might be the best way. Catch switch end of stream. My message gets deleted if I type the actual type name. I don't know why. Let me that's interesting. I will take a look at YouTube setup and make sure that the auto moderator is not like catching weird things. And honestly, I'll probably loosen up the auto moderator. People generally are fairly kind in this community and family friendly, which is great. So I might not need them. While reader data else error. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Sure. Okay. So what was so it was reader. I'm already, oh my goodness, I'm already lost my train of thought on this one. Take delivery exclusive. Let's continue what we have then. And maybe I'll remember where we were at. So while item.next item. Cool, we have a slice. If we actually don't want the entire thing. I essentially just want the first one. Do we have a I dot? Yeah, I dot first. So if I dot first is equal to, can't do that, need to do standard dot mem dot equal u8 I dot first is equal to value. So if that's true, then we've found the thing that we're looking for. And then we can return dot value will be I dot first. Does this reset the returns a slice of the first field, call this only to get the first field, and then use next to get all subsequent fields, asserts that the iteration has not begun. Okay. So we should just be able to do this value. This is path I dot next, and then tags is I dot tags. There's no way we do this without allocation, right? Like we need to allocate space for the tags. Oh. Expected after initializer. What? Do I just have invalid code somewhere? What am I missing? Oh, it's right here, isn't it? If standard.mem equal. Okay. Sheesh. Cool. Okay. Let's throw together a main.zig and actually test some of this stuff. We'll probably just do everything in the main.zig for now. So we should be able to grab const storage is import storage const paths import paths. Source storage. There we go. Okay. Great. What do we... These imports are not... let me just really quickly... Okay. ZLS is not being as helpful as I expected. What about paths? Yeah, paths works. Am I doing something wrong? Import source storage.zig. It is storage.zig. Nothing's public. That'll do it. Okay. No, not main.go, main.zig. Storage, bookmark, init. Okay, cool, much better. Okay, so we'll bookmark GitHub. The path will be https://www.github.com. And then this will be bookmark. So we can store this into a writer. I'm going to hop over here and copy the writer syntax again. Yep, this right here. Okay, so in theory, kind of nice thing about this in the writer interface is that we could just use standard out for testing for now, and worry about the paths and file stuff later. So in theory, just Zig build run. We'll give this a shot. Probably be working on this multiple days. And I thought this would be much quicker than it actually is. Expected type IO writer, found a pointer to IO writer. Yeah, probably should be a pointer in this case. What else? Value of type storage bookmark init struct ignored in storage.zig on 9. Need to return it. That makes sense. What was the other one? Oh, yes. The pointer on storage. Wrong storage. Try this again. Storage.zig. Yep. Okay. Starting with Rust as my first low-level language was a mistake. Not having a Rust analyzer-esque experience when I do Zig or C++ makes me doubt myself. Sort of follow up to my last comment. Is there something other than ZLS that can improve the dev experience? No, not that I know of. I just use ZLS. So if you find anything, please let me know because I'd love to improve the dev experience as well. It's worth mentioning that I have tended to have a slightly better dev experience in VS Code than NeoVim, but making a ton of changes to a ton of different things all at once, which maybe isn't the best idea, and trying to use less VS Code and more NeoVim, especially with Omarchy because it's so freaking fast. So, and I guess that's not necessarily Omarchy as much as it is just Arch Linux, but yeah, the NeoVim experience has been pretty great. But I don't know if there's a better tool than ZLS. Okay, cool. What do we have failing? Main.zig 11. So let's hop over to main.zig, go to 11. You mean we have to try this? Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. Storage.zig 17. We don't actually care. So we could do something like that. Yep, value view size is ignored. Totally fine. What, really? Compiled successfully. Where's our output? Non-existent. Oh my gosh, we forgot to flush. Don't forget to flush. Standard out dot flush. Let's try that again. Error unions ignored. Yep. Heaven forbid I try to write a line of code without running into an error. Beautiful. No tags. Let's add some tags really quick. So we can just cheekily set our tags here to dev code test 1 2 3. Let's give that a shot. Cannot assign to a constant. Oh, you would, wouldn't you? Oh, that's because we're returning our bookmark back as a constant, aren't we? Oh man, 2 main files is tripping me up. Yeah, so let's just change this to a var. Oh, the one thing Andrew's been shoving down our throats, constantly flushing. Yeah, don't forget to flush. Don't forget to flush. If you forgot, don't forget to flush. Really, don't forget to flush. Yeah, well, you'll run into issues like I did too, right? Where you're confused why nothing is showing up, but you have a buffer and you haven't flushed your buffer. So, expected type, bada bing, bada bing. Can we just drop that? Does not support array initialization syntax. Can we? Okay, getting way too cheeky. Cannot dereference non-pointer type. That's right. So we can grab this and then just index the slice. Sure. Slice of non-array type. Slice of non-array type struct, comp time const, dev code. Man, I'm really struggling today. Might have been a bad day to do a stream, actually. Okay, so const tags, just so it'll be a slice of const u8. Sure. I feel like I'm making just amateur mistake after amateur mistake. Const cast. Change tags to const to allow that. Oh, so you're suggesting on the bookmark struct itself. So if we do yes. Just out of curiosity. Slice of non-array type struct. Why am I struggling with this so much? Oh man. This is what I get for going a week and a half without writing Zig and writing Go in TypeScript instead. Okay. Humor me. We're just going to copy and paste this and throw it in here. There's like no reason this shouldn't work except for me making typos. Okay. So let's change this. What is Uh, oh no, not lazy vim. Sorry, wrong thing. I want diagnostics, X diagnostics. Um, no location lists, not helpful. Unable to infer array size. Interesting. It's 2. Let me help you out. Yes, remove the 0 to 3. Yeah, if I remove the 0 to 3, then I run into this. Wait, hang on. Did I didn't save. Let's try that again. Oh, no, that was it. Jeez. Okay. Uh okay, why? So I was trying to slice the slice, I guess? No, what is going on here? Type slice const does not support array initialization syntax. Travis said tags equals ampersand dot foo. Yeah, that's. I guess I was just trying to. So this is going to infer the type then in this case. And I guess I was trying to slice the slice, which should be valid. No? Maybe I just have a severe lack of understanding on how that should work. Okay. I think I clearly need a break. So I think I'm probably going to call it here, at least for now, and we'll probably resume this with another live, or maybe I'll end up throwing this together and just do a recap video. I'm not sure which, but we will definitely continue to do something here in the future because I'd love to get to the actual TUI part, which is what I was hoping to get to today. But man, I just spun my wheels so much on random things. Thank you everyone for tuning in and for everyone who helped out. Thank you tremendously. I really appreciate that. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. So thanks and have a good one.